repping Triumphant Song Gaming there. And with a skill level that a lot of the players are saying they're quite afraid of right now. He's been on point, smashing his way through some of those qualifiers to get here. Really looking very good. I remember way back when young Solar, 2013, 2014, as a Zerg vs Protoss sniper in the Pro League.
Yeah.
What a way he's come since then. You know, that he was a one matchup specialist. He steadily kind of became more and more well-rounded and started, you know, taking many championships in 2016 in the Star League and that sort of thing. And he's just kind of taken himself to that level where we think of Solar as always one of the best Zergs in Korea.
Yeah, absolutely one of the best Zergs, and yet he struggles in GSL. He's always been more of a weekend tournament player, events like this one, where that's where he's really shined, that's where he's picked up a couple of trophies. Yes, he's got an SSL under his belt as well, but he really shows himself online a lot of the time too, and it always feels like when I go into a tournament, I'm ready for Solar to like bop anybody and be like, oh yeah, that's totally expected. And then he just, you know, he makes playoffs, he has those runs, but he doesn't go all the way. So let's maybe see if this is the start of something. Again, he did start with a victory against a Laser today, so he's already looking pretty good in the group, but INnoVation, arguably the only player looking better because he destroyed Patience. It wasn't even that fun to watch even as a Terran fan.
Yeah, well, some just tight, clean play from INnoVation. What he's known for, every second matters, and the focus is always there. The Reaper is now coming across the map. There's a Marine behind it, Factory on the way. Solar here. Gonna send that drone out very early to that third base. Gonna go straight for that hatchery on location. You can notice Solar, of course, delaying Zergling speed to make sure this hatchery gets down as quickly as possible before the Reaper can possibly go over there to delay it.
Yeah, and this is a style Solar really loves, and it just sets him up into his follow-up quite nicely as well. No surprises there. INnoVation will opt for a second gas rather than a 3cc build order, which is something which can... He mixes it up a lot, and while on any given day in the past he usually goes for one build and he keeps on trying it, in big events like this is where he takes all of those 1 days of practice in each specific build and throws them all together. So we'll see what he does, as he will be heading up towards a starport here soon enough. And meanwhile, again, Solar link speed on the way. We'll see what sort of direction he takes. He does generally prefer to take like a 430 lair and move in towards a Spire and a Baneling Nest before upgrades. So let's see if that's still true in the current game.
You'll always see INnoVation's mules expiring very far away from minerals. It's because he is one of those Terrans who always pulls it off before the last trip. Mules often do expire, and they'll end up mining 25 minerals off a patch, and then they'll basically just disappear and fall to pieces, and you won't get the minerals. So he's just making sure he has an extra 25 minerals per base each time he does that. It's such a tiny detail, but I think it tells us a lot about INnoVation and his focus as a player. He's all about these consistent details that can give him a slight edge every single game. And I think, you know, you said it. He's changing it up. He's mixing up his build orders. He sees an opening. Link speed's not ready. He realized that link speed was delayed, and he's going to dive for these two Hellions.
He's going to go in for 2 drones already, and there is more lining up. There's 3, and the Spore Crawler to deny the 4th kill. If the Hellions get out of here, that's a miss, but they might just feel like they can get more. Unfortunately, he is pushed back. 1 Hellion survives, and 2 more show up.
Oh, he's just going to go? Mistake.
Yeah, it was one of those moments where he's like, maybe, then he's like, no. Let's just calm it down a little again. But just before that, you mentioned he's changing the build up, and he is going into that Liberator. It looks like just the one before moving on from there. No, he's going to go for the second one too. So this is actually the other build INnoVation likes to do a lot when he's not playing 3cc, the double Liberator. And it just keeps the Zerg back because it keeps them busy in the natural, maybe in the main, that multi-prong. If you're good with the Liberators, you keep them alive so long, and it gives you so much time to build up into bio.
I think this is a good way to apply pressure. You've still got a very fast third command center. Stim on the way, second and third barracks now going down as well. And of course, Solar here looking to drone up those 3 mineral lines very quickly. One thing we notice about Solar compared to some of these European Zergs is he will go up into faster Baneling speed oftentimes. In this case, looking like a very quick double Evo chamber, gearing up to get 1-1 super early.
Yeah, actually completely the opposite of what I expected Solar to do here. I really was expecting that faster lair like mentioned, but no, this time, faster upgrades, get this going. Maybe just feels like he can do that based on the fact that he's able to kind of see with the Overlord speed everything that goes on. You know, maybe it's a choice where he's like, I don't need a Bane Nest here. I don't need a lair and just go into Spire quickly or anything like that. So
maybe having a read on INnoVation's playstyle, realizing he's been rushing these upgrades and really looking to get the upgrade advantage with the bio pushes later on. Good reactions here by Solar so far. Really quick pulls. Queen surviving in red hit points. One of the Liberators has already gone down. INnoVation not finding any openings. There's no chinks in the armor just yet. Still looking for it though.
Yeah, absolutely not, and even this is going to be shut down real fast as we see the Hellions surrounded by Zerglings in just a matter of seconds. They don't even get close to killing a drone here. Complete shutdown by Solar. I mean, one Liberator survives, but losing the first one kind of hurts, loses some of that multi-prong potential.
Flawless macro on the side of INnoVation, but the harass has not found its mark. Solar defending very cleanly as a fourth hatchery on the way. The Lair and the Baneling Nest now coming along as well, and with this sort of game, you are going to see, of course, a potential scary moment with 1-1, combat shields, medevacs, a couple tanks. I'd actually love to see INnoVation make a push with that. Since the Baneling speed is going to be so late, I think INnoVation is going to need to do something to slow down Solar expanding on this map. And the next minute or two is a crucial time to make sure Solar doesn't run away in the economy game.
Yeah, lack of Baneling speed really makes these first attacks very hard to deal with, but you do at least have the upgrades, and that's what Solar's working with here. It looks as though INnoVation will just look for a drop early on. As the next question for him, I think, as well is, do you take gases on that third base, and do you really kind of tech up and say, I'm going to take 4 bases eventually, etc., and he does start one, so he's not just going to go like 8 racks all across the map, keep on attacking. It does look as though he's going to keep on building siege tanks, though, which is something that can work well on Trident due to the ledges on the map.
Yeah, some nice areas. And of course, this double drop going to start to come into the main base. Tons of Zerglings there, and ready the Queen, focus firing on the medevac. Forces a pickup. 1 or 2 Marines do go down as well. He's going to drop down into this base. If he can take out these Queens, that'd be great. Those medevacs getting very low on hit points. This is a dangerous move from INnoVation.
Yeah, he gets 1 and 2 of the Queens, now looking for another. I mean, 1 medevac has fallen, so he will lift up just before the Banelings arrive and start to move out. And I just want to say, this is so like off meta to what we saw like a month ago, where you with the medevacs go into the main base and you drop and try and deal damage instead of just going out to clean creep, which has been the meta for so long, just to cold creep back. Terrans have really taken a step away from that with the first 2 medevacs and instead said, yeah, they just replace it so quickly anyways, let's hit somewhere a little bit less predictable and try and deal damage.
Yeah, I like how it's often kind of the 3rd or the 4th medevac or the next double drop that goes out that actually ends up clearing creep, but I feel like there's just this real appreciation of the level of urgency where the Terran player needs to take the fight to the Zerg. If you're just clearing creep, Zerg players are very happy to go, great, that's bought me 30 seconds to build another 10 drones. I'm really happy to do that. And I mean, speaking of Zergs getting out of control economically, Solar is there. 84 drones, 5th base on the way. His creep spread is not to the watchtower yet. That's an important area on this map where tanks, of course, can siege up through the middle. And Hive does start up as well. INnoVation, he's definitely trailing in this map. Right now, Solar is in the driver's seat. INnoVation still only poking out with these small squads of bio, but I definitely think Solar has all the edges right now.
Yeah, and he's going up into Hive as well, and I actually think this is going to be really good for him because he's completely skipped any sort of lair tech. And if INnoVation's really just looking to build around a 2-2 attack, if Solar gets Ultralisks out, they're going to sweep the floor with anything that's just focusing on 8 racks and no 4th space. I was kind of against that because he took a 5th gas, but obviously that's not affected him here. He still is just pumping Marines and only Marines alongside 1 factory tank production.
That is 13 Marines building at a time right now. Tanks coming out, and it's going to be one big push. 2-2 is almost finished. It's time for it to get going. This is a hugely committed attack. There is no real strong follow-up. Solar, he thinks about branching off down the right-hand side, but he pulls back his backstab. Solar, it looks like he wants to swarm over and defend on the front.
Yeah, INnoVation has got a little bit of a high ground here, but it's not near anything, right? It's not pushing a base at all, so that's a bit tough. Solar instead tries to go to the right side. This is nice from INnoVation, catching these attempts to run by and just taking down some units for free.
I mean, that's great efficiency. That's awesome in a long game where you're on 5 bases. Right now, efficiency matters for nothing. INnoVation needs to go and do massive damage to Solar right now. The Ultra Cavern is halfway done. A gigantic swell of Zerglings runs into the natural just as INnoVation sieging up his attack. But he's in position, he defends it, and look at this. The Marines spread out. He needs to win this fight. He needs to clear this area. The Vipers aren't ready. Solar's going to go for it.
Here we go from the right-hand side of the top. Bateman swarming in. The tanks are going down. Marines surrounded by Zerglings and nothing left here from INnoVation. A couple tanks, no problems, but swarms of Zerglings still coming through. INnoVation's reinforcements aren't looking pretty either as Solar keeps moving through.
Those Marines just ran out of area to retreat. They ended up cornered between both flanks of Banelings, and so many Marines fell so suddenly. And now with Ultras building, Chitinous plating on the way, Adrenal Glands on the way. Solar is filling out the tech tree, and he has defended the 5 bases. INnoVation sitting on 3 base. desperate, simply building Marines and tanks. And with the Ultras out, Marines and tanks are just worthless. This is not going to work. Once you have 2 or 3 Ultralisks with chitinous plating, your composition becomes, it expired. It's like old milk. It's just, it's not going to do anything against upgraded Ultras.
No, you can see INnoVation when he lost that 5 stars, 3 stars, realizing, oh my god, this game's not going to end here, I need to do something else. But you're completely right, I think the Pureling Vein to defend this into the Ultra follow-up is so good against it because you're not wasting any money on tech units which aren't as great in these fights. And look at this, reinforcements getting picked off, Solar starts to take about 5 backs away, it still has Zerglings over in the 3rd base as well, and INnoVation cannot make another attack, and it's buying Solar extra moments to get even more Ultras on the field and to be even more comfortable in the next fight that happens.
And Solar has just looked comfortable start to finish. I love the way you use that word, Wardy, because, I mean, it seems almost like he expected this strategy, right? He seems very, very well prepared for INnoVation. And, of course, things become easier if you have a clean early game, and Solar's early game was absolutely perfect. He's still threatening with the Zergling backstabs. Ultralisks on the front, a Viper in there as well, a big Blinding Cloud, and the only 2 tanks there. The other tank gets a Blinding Cloud as well. Baneling's rolling over, and with that, Solar a crushing one-sided affair for game 1.
GG, Solar just crushing one-sided, you said it all. It was absolutely hopeless from INnoVation. And while, yes, the macro was on point, etc., the Liberators did nothing. The drops did nothing at all. The push did nothing, you know. What did work for INnoVation? Like, the first 2 Hellions got like 3 drones, and that's almost like, well, it's okay. That was the only moment in the game, I think, where INnoVation was like, oh, this is my game. I mean, even then, it's not like my game, right? It's just like a couple of drones, but it was a nice moment, and from there, Solar just shut down absolutely anything he could.
You know, I like the opportunistic dive from INnoVation, the 2 Hellions at the start against the delayed Zergling speed. Really wanted to do something to try and slow down Solar, who had, of course, slowed down the Ling speed. Why did he do that? To get Overlord speed, which is what gave him massive vision. He was able to scout everything INnoVation was doing and prepare accordingly. Now, this was Triton. It was a big map. Definitely, I think, a more Zerg-favored map in this matchup of styles. The next map will be Ephemeron, and I think that's going to be giving INnoVation a much better chance of getting off on the right foot. You know, for someone who maybe doesn't watch that much StarCraft, you might think Solar is just a way better player than INnoVation if you just watch that map in isolation. But it really is a snowball effect, especially in this matchup of Zerg vs Terran. You're able to shut down not just the first Liberator, but the second, and multiple attempts at Hellion dives. That is huge. The momentum swung very early in that game.
Starting us off in game number 2. In the bottom right-hand side, our Red Terran player needs you to rally for him right now. This is INnoVation.
And up here in the top left-hand side of Ephemeron, representing Triumphant Song Gaming, he is Solar.
Solar at that ESL Pro Tour rank 1, thanks to his multiple performances in the Korean Cups. So shout out to him, being grinding it out, as INnoVation, though, is going to be looking to get cheeky in this one. And that's not just 2 SCVs coming across the map, that's number 3 as well.
Oh, that's a big commitment difference, isn't it? So often the 3rd barracks goes a little bit further back, so it's harder to scout. We'll see if INnoVation even bothers with that, as the whole idea here is against 2 barracks, you kind of need to defend, and it is definitely stressful, but the follow-up is not as big with this. It is, like, massively committed. This is a ridiculous number of Marines that are going to be coming in. Now, that Overlord's going to spot it.
Too late, though.
Not super early, no.
It's too late to really pull drones, slow it down in that sort of area, which is what Zergs would love to do. Oh, he turns away at the last moment!
Oh, damn. Okay, sees the SCV now.
Yeah, now you know.
And that gives him warning. He's got to start, of course, just building an Overlord and then saving lava for Zerglings. We're going to see drones come down here, just 3 to start. And the real trick here for the Zerg player is to pull workers to stop the bunkers getting up, but to not pull too many and not too few. So you start off with 1 or 2, you then need a few more, and then it escalates steadily. And Solar needs to do this perfectly. If he's a little short on drones, they're just going to get smashed by the individual Marines here. But if he pulls too many, he's going to run out of money, and he won't be able to deal with the follow-up.
He has a lot of money banked up right now, and he goes straight into 8 Zerglings, just the 1 Queen, as extra Marines showing up. Has not been able to start a bunker yet, and this one will not go down just yet either. These Marines here to support, of course. The drone's currently hanging back. There's the first bunker coming up, but of course this will not be finished before Zerglings are here to start helping the defense.
Okay, don't shoot your own Marine there, Inno. Those Marines got a little bit trigger happy and did end up wounding one of the SCVs. Here we go, the Zerglings are out. They're coming through, they're funneling through the choke point. 5 Marines, a 6th one arrives. Nice stutter step from INnoVation. I think he might actually have done this. Those Zerglings going down very quickly. It's mostly just drones. There's still 4 Marines left alive. The bunker, is it going to be able to finish? It is, but the Marines, no way to get in there right now.
Yeah, the Marines can't get there, but the extra ones can, and now the Lings are on the wrong side of this, but a couple more show up. The Spine Crawler's done. The second bunker will finish anyways, though. A Queen really far forwards is dealing some extra damage, but the Marines will just jump in the bunker now and try and fight off this Spine Crawler. Only 3 of them, though.
Yeah, only 3 for now, but they're going to be more than enough with 2 SCVs coming forward. That Spine Crawler already heavily wounded, and Solar here, he pulled so many drones to start, but wasn't able to get any early surrounds on those units.
Yeah,
great mic's done.
Great micro at the end there on the SCV in the bunker as well. Just the added effect of being able to keep on repairing, and INnoVation fights back with the Proxy 3 racks. One of the ways a Terran can always get back into a series.
It worked well. It has worked well historically in this matchup, hasn't it? We talked about how it's a seesaw matchup where things can spiral out of control early on. How do you stop the Zerg getting in their comfort zone? Building a lot of workers. Well, INnoVation went way back earlier than the Liberator harassment, way earlier than the Hellion Dives, and said, how about I just take advantage of the fact that you're not drone scouting? Take advantage of the fact that you're not going spawning pool before hatchery.
Yeah.
And he did it fantastically. Of course, Solar technically can still defend there, but it really is just, you've got to execute on a razor's edge. The smallest mistakes from Solar get punished massively, and that's what we saw there.
Just a nice choice of the barracks positioning too as well. Obviously, Overlord didn't see it until the SCV was moving through, and that means it's the latest possible reaction from Solar as well. And INnoVation plays out well. The next map pick is going to be Zen, which is the least played map of the tournament so far.
Yeah.
And in general, really good for Terran. Lots of pushing potential, lots of sieging up potential, great base potential. It feels like everything is about Terran on this map, apart from maybe 1 or 2 counterattack paths.
I mean, Solar's a build order guy, and it's the sort of map where I might imagine him doing something weird like a proxy hatch Ravager rush as well, or a 1-base Ravager. We're going to have to see exactly what happens. We are going, of course, into map number 3. It is the second series for both of these players today. Looking, of course, for the top 3 spots in the group of 6.
Yep, and we start off in this map. We do have in the upper right-hand side the red Terran player from Kaizi Gaming, the machine himself, INnoVation.
Hopefully no syntax errors today.
So far, so good.
Down here in the bottom left-hand side in the blue, representing Triumphant Song Gaming, he is Solar. The ambassador of the Korean scene in many ways. Obviously having fantastic English since a very young age, has always been someone who a lot of the players kind of look up to communicate their concerns to the international community, as well as to really express a lot of their personality. In the old days, you know, at Home Story Cup, doing a bit of impromptu translating while also competing in the tournament, and really just a very cool guy. Speaking of aggressive build orders, Wardy, this is the exact same thing, right?
Yeah, exact same thing, but the SCV of INnoVation was seen by the Overlord. So he saw the SCV, he pulled the SCV back, that's why this drone is scouting, but it's also why Solar has gone gas pool, just in case INnoVation's still committed to it, which he has.
That's 3 barracks against pool first. This ends up in a very awkward scenario. I almost wish INnoVation had gone back and done a more standard build after being spotted there and just keep his opponent guessing a little bit. This drone going to delay that barracks. There's already 2 Zerglings on the way. Of course, one of the other barracks has finished. This other SCV will pop over and finish it up. And from here, it's very hard to win with this, but you can put the Zerg in an awkward position. Once again, Solar has to decide how he's going to react to this, and I think it is going to be Zergling speed by the looks of it. Some people like to go Ravagers, get a couple of them out to just really clean up the Marines with perfect micro, but Ling speed definitely can get the job done.
Starts that up right now as the first couple SCVs turned away super fast, of course. The one thing you can do on this map is somehow wall off your Marine behind the on the ramp and maybe build like a bunker or a site depot there. For the moment, it doesn't look as though we're going to be seeing that in INnoVation in general, just in trouble. So many Zerglings, not even a drone pull needed here from Solar. There's the extra Marines, and this is where it gets a little bit more spicy, but there's already a Spine Crawler halfway done up in the main base.
I'd like to see those Lings backstab across the map. I think if you lose this hatch, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, at this point, the Queen's already down, actually. She does get down here pretty quickly, and combined with the Zerglings, I think she should be able to stop these SCVs from building the bunkers. That's the key. That's what Solar couldn't stop from happening in the previous game. But those Marines on top of the Queen, there's still one SCV in there. The SCV is going to get on top of that bunker.
It is indeed, and now the Spine Crawler's trying to come down, but the Spine Crawler won't do damage until it's buried, and INnoVation can maybe try and block this. The Reinforcement Marines are shutting down those Lings that were trying to get around the side. The Spine Crawler, well, I think the SCV is going to go down anyway.
It slides! It slides!
Does it?
Oh my lord, Solar has got to be so mad at that SCV. That is the luckiest Drilly Boy in the entire world. Red hit points, builds a bunker in the face of a massive Zerglings and a Spine Crawler, and now Solar is in huge trouble.
Zergling speed about to finish, but is there the Zerglings to do anything here? I don't really think so. INnoVation is going to put the Hurt Marines in the bunker. He's going to fight this right now. SCV trying to repair. It doesn't matter as Solar types out GG. And one SCV deciding to move to the other side of the bunker. INnoVation got a little bit lucky there, I think it's safe to say.
I mean, great execution in every other regard, and I definitely think there is a reason why a lot of people like to get the Ravagers and the Roaches out, is because it shuts this down. Even if you lose the hatch, your Ravagers just able to out-micro them. It didn't quite work out, and no doubt.
They know.
He's like, I gotcha. He's like, do you notice when the SCV bounced over there? Pure skill. Solar, no doubt, very happy about that one, and perhaps maybe should have, made an offering to RNG